Hello everyone and welcome to another best of 3 in the tournament Spring Cup. Again we have elamaunt moving on in the winner bracket and playing against Dolorosa. I'm not sure who is Dolorosa, I don't know if he had any other nicknames, basically a new name to me, coming out of nowhere. So let's get started with the first game. Previously we have watched also elamaunt in the winner bracket playing against Maniac and Wolf, so this is the third best of 3 with elamaunt's games. At the top side we have Dolorosa using the nickname JGHAMO's best friend, and at the bottom side we have elamaunt with Orks. Standard opening here with 2 Slugger Boys, Barracks and Generator for elamaunt, and at the top side we have 3 Scout opening with 2 Builders. Also quite standard.
Scouts reporting for duty.
There are many good openings for Space Marines, and it basically depends on maps and matchups, on how many scouts you make, and if you will make the Force Commander or the Space Marine squad first, and also if you will go for a generator or not.
Scouts here.
And also a matter of play style.
Defending objective. Scouts ready. Scouts in position.
Space Marine decides to take the closest points in the first place. Already has a Space Marine squad out and goes for the Force Commander. If he would build a generator, he won't have enough resources for the Force Commander so fast. That's why Space Marine cannot build it right away. Or he may as well start with Barracks and Generator and go for the Force Commander without the Space Marine squad. But against Orks, it's a good option to be aggressive as a Space Marine, especially in the early game, so I think Dolorosa is making a good decision here with this squad of Space Marines, trying to be aggressive in here, getting at the Orks map side quickly, and dealing some damage. In the early game, Orks have less HP than the Space Marine squads, and Space Marine player can do some nice damage in the first 5 minutes.
At your command.
Yes, most beneficent one.
4 strategic points captured for Space Marines, and now he is getting the relic. Elamaunt might be able to decap this. Space Marines army is out of position at the moment. Let's see if this will work. Big Mac with the Shooter Boys denying scouts to get this critical location, and Big Mac with Shooter Boys can now even jump in here and try to kill some scouts or maybe some Space Marines. But I'm not sure if the Big Mac had teleport, so no teleporting here. elamaunt probably thought it would be a bit risky, and he also wants to kill this scout squad. Yeah, it's dead. Good job, killing one scout squad this early in the game is a good achievement. elamaunt's map vision, he has all of his points and gets 1 critical location now. He will also try to get this one. Has already 2 generators and 92 to 20 economy, goes for 1 war banner. 80 to 0 economy for Space Marine. Well, no wonder it's lower than Orks economy.
I await your instructions.
At your command.
We do not have such a greedy economy style for the Space Marine in this build order, especially with no generator until the 4th minute. He cannot upgrade any of the listening posts.
He who stands with me shall be my brother.
Builds another generator quickly and also researched the sniper training.
Scouts here.
Well, if the scout management will be good for Dolorosa, this upgrade will also be useful. But if the scouts will be in a bad position, a good teleportation with a big mech into them and
Scouts in
they are dead.
Yes, my lord.
So if he makes the snipers on the scouts, he will have to be very careful and act quickly if Orc will try to catch him. But sometimes you cannot even predict where the big mech will jump and when. So it's a bit risky to go for the snipers in this matchup, but they can be very useful also at the same time. They are dropping the morale of the shooter boys and can also focus them from a distance. 110 to 20 economy for elamaunt goes for the storm boys. Still only one shooter boy squad and the big mech in the army, and goes also for the armor upgrade. Third generator is also ready, makes more LP2s. This is the fifth LP2 for elamaunt, and we only have 2 for the Space Marine. And Space Marine goes tier 2,
Yes, my lord.
with a 92 to 30 economy. Third LP2 also on the way. Quite good transition into a tier 2 for the Space Marine and also upgrading the economy slowly. And we have an engagement here from Orc.
Yes, my lord.
As I've said, a teleportation in here into these scouts and they might get killed. Like I've mentioned before, this got a big mech teleportation jump and the scout squad got killed with one sniper rifle.
Waiting orders.
So I'm not sure if that upgrade was worth it for Dolorosa. It delayed his tier 2 for a while. 2 Space Marine squads for the Space Marine, and the Force Commander goes for the Armory now and has tier 2.
Scouts here.
elamaunt placing now the tier 2 banner as well, and having the taken hold victory countdown. Dolorosa trying to decap here, and the chaplain is on the way as well. Very good hero for this matchup. A big pain for Orks. You must do this. You must have the chaplain in this matchup once you reach tier 2. It's very effective. Another engagement from elamaunt with a Stormboy squad and this strong squad of big mech with shooter boys. Could also be a good idea if big mech gets disattached and tries to fight the Force Commander in close combat. And elamaunt is also good at surrounding heroes with his Orks and killing them. I've seen this plenty of times in his games, especially the Chaos Lord and Force Commander. Sometimes it's even possible to block the heroes with the Gretchens, infiltrated Gretchens. You somehow surround it, and if you're lucky, the hero won't be able to move because of the Gretchens. As long as they are infiltrated, of course. Now with a chaplain in here, Space Marine can face this Orc army. Nice slowdown on the Storm Boys, and they have to jump away. The Grey Knights are out as well. Still 98 to 30 economy for Space Marine, upgrades 2 more LP2s. And we have some little harass in here with tank boosters from elamaunt. Dolorosa makes a skull, he needs it for infiltration. For detection, I mean. And knobs are on the way. This squad will be... well, this knob squad will be effective at countering the Grey Knights and these heroes. They can tank some damage, and very nicely done here for elamaunt. He has forced Dolorosa to use the Grey Knight ability. But it seems like it got cancelled. I'm not sure if the Space Marine guy cancelled it, or was it cancelled because of the Grey Knight got killed? I've missed this moment, because it's also possible to cancel an ability if you kill the unit which casted it. Inspiring Aura Research for the Force Commander, also nice ability. And Machine Cult on the way for Dolorosa. 2 Nob Squads, very nice. A unit choice for elamaunt. That's why he made only 1 squad of shooter boys, because he wanted to go for more close combat. I see now. The Skull gets killed in here, no more detection for the Space Marine. He does not have the Librarian, it's not even on the way yet. And this listening post goes down easily. 140 to 40 economy for elamaunt, goes for the mech shop and places 1 more banner. He needs it for this infantry reinforcement. He has 65 out of 65 orcs. That's a lot of army. And we have 98 to 50 economy. Huge economy advantage for elamaunt. It's much higher now, but he also invests much more requisition into this work Overwatch, as you can see. The Nobs reinforcement and Storm Boys reinforcement. It's plenty of resources. So you need a really high income on requisition as an orc player if you're going for this close combat style with mass reinforcement. 75 orc population cap for elamaunt and builds even 1 more banner. He could go tier 3 with this, but he needs these banners not even for tier 3 but for reinforcing his units. Again, he has full limit works. Another cast of the Grey Knight ability, and here we have the first bigger fight in this game. Here it starts. Shooter boys get killed easily. Plenty of them got killed by the Grey Knights with a chaplain. The Nobs tying up these Space Marine squads. And Dolorosa also made 2 Hellfire Dreadnoughts. Great unit for this matchup. I remember Servant doing this. We have a pretty even fight for now. It's not clear who will win yet. As long as the Space Marine won't lose his units and will micro properly, he can defend. This dreadnought might get killed. 2 more minutes until taking hold, by the way. I'm not sure if Space Marine is paying attention now to this in this intense fight. Sometimes it's good to go and fight your enemy when taken hold countdown is gets closer to 0. This way you can also distract your enemy and he will even forget to decap taken hold. This might be a tricky way to win by taken hold. Because Space Marine is focused mostly on this fight now, to defend himself. More and more Hellfire Dreadnoughts being made. Again, the Grey Knight ability here casted. Orc will have to retreat. He is losing so much and not killing Space Marines at all. But because of this fight, now elamaunt might be able and destroy this area, these Space Marine buildings, and lower his economy a bit. So we have 147 requisition income to 40 energy income for elamaunt against 86 to 50 for the Space Marine, and it will get lower. It will be 74 to 50. Very good job by elamaunt lowering the Space Marine's economy, and now that elamaunt has huge economy advantage, and also doing this harass war truck with tank boosters, destroying more of the Space Marine's economy, and GG gets called by Dolorosa. Taken hold also, not decapped yet. Maybe Space Marine could even try and keep fighting, but he would eventually lose by the taken hold. Also, what I've mentioned a bit earlier, elamaunt has managed to distract him so much that he forgot to decap the critical locations, and he had to decap 2 of them in order to stop taken hold. So yeah, very well played by elamaunt. Smart play, even if he has not managed to kill a lot of Space Marine's army. He has done a very good job at distracting the Space Marine and destroying his economy while fighting in here. So yeah, smart play indeed. And I liked his unit choice, and we even have more units killed by the Space Marines. But they have killed plenty of Orks, but it's usually normal. Orks die like flies, especially in the early game. And also those close combat Orks that you constantly reinforce and lose them, they also die pretty quickly. Especially the Storm boys. On resources, a huge advantage for elamaunt, almost 3000 more resources. That's a huge difference for such a short game, and especially in a 1v1. And on technology, elamaunt is ahead on everything. So that's it with the first game. Let's go into the next one. Played on Blood River. I'm not surprised that Dolorosa picked this map. In this matchup, it's a good map for the Space Marine. Basically not a good map for Orks, I would say, even though I used to play Orks on this map and I was doing on this map much better than on other ones for some reason, not sure why. Elamaunt in the bottom left goes for 2 Slugger boys, barracks and generator, exactly like in the previous game. Will he make the shooter boys though, or go for the big mech right away? Let's see. Yeah, goes for the shooter boys. He understands that Space Marine might try and be aggressive, so going only for the big mech is a bit risky. In here he might get pushed into his base and not even be able to take this point. In the top right side, Space Marine. Also 3 scouts like in the previous game, Space Marine squad and Force Commander. Both players going for the exactly the same build order, like on the Fata Morga. A very safe start for both players, no risks taken.
Area secured.
The downside of this safe place, defensive place, is that they are very predictive, so even if you try your best, your enemy can... your enemy knows basically what you're doing, and he can think of a decent counter to your build, so sometimes even if you're playing very good defensively, your enemy might be able to outsmart you, do some smart tricks, and no matter how good you've played with your build, you will get outplayed, outsmarted, basically countered. And sometimes playing unpredictable and also smart at the same time is a much better decision. But of course you'd need to know the game very well for doing this unpredictable plays. Elamaunt trying to be aggressive in here. For some reason he wants to keep the Space Marine army away from this relic to capture it safely. Infiltration for the Gretchens on the way. Force Commander, nice. Nicely done by the Force Commander in here, tying up both the shoot-up boys in close combat and the big mech. Now elamaunt wants to surround this Force Commander with the Gretchens as well. Will he manage? No, it does not work this time. Dolorosa manages to decap the relic. Did those Slugger boys die or what? Yeah, it looks like one squad of Slugger boys got killed. Sad situation for elamaunt. Big mistake by losing the Slugger boys so early. Well, thankfully he's got one squad, he has to keep this one alive. And he's trying very hard to distract the Space Marine. He wants to distract him and keep him away from the relic, I understand. But only with one squad of shooter boys and big mech it's very difficult to trick the enemy and buying into this illusion. The illusion that you are being aggressive and that you have army, while you only have one squad of shooter boys and big mech. Space Marine's army is stronger, of course. Elamaunt loses both of his cappers, both Slugger boy squads get killed. And a nice aggression here by the Space Marine. He might be able to destroy this. The listening post, by the way, got stunned for a while by the skull. That's why it wasn't shooting. The listening post goes down. And what do we have here? This map vision for elamaunt. He remains on three strategic points, 2 LP2s, makes the third one. Goes for the pilo guns, but with this economy I'm not sure if he can do it. Space Marine's map control is much better. He controls 2 critical locations, all of his points, and even gets this relic from the elamaunt side now. So on the economy side and army side, the Space Marine is winning. Clearly has the advantage here in this game. Goes tier 2. And what do we have here? Only 35 population cap for elamaunt. He can make the armor upgrade now. And one squad of Storm Boys, yeah, this squad of Storm Boys can help at getting some map. Or also fight. But man, so many Space Marines here. 2 squads almost fully reinforced. This will be difficult to stop. Especially once the Space Marine will be tier 2.
6 minutes until take and hold victory.
Armor upgrade and speed boost for the Storm Boys will be made. 74 to 20 economy against 110 to 30. The opposite of the previous game. That's what we have here. And as you can see, elamaunt has to invest in the Storm Boys a lot, overwatching them. Each member 40 requisition, and they also die pretty quickly. If they wouldn't have the armor upgrade, or if they would fight under some kind of LP2, it would be a waste. But now that the Space Marines do not have any upgrade, the Storm Boys can manage to push them away. Nice job in here with a big mech, and nice surround of the Force Commander. But he somehow manages to escape. He attached the Force Commander to the Space Marine squad and this way managed to go away. Good job by Dolorosa in here. And elamaunt manages to fight him back. He needs now to decap this, and elamaunt needs also a capper. One Slugger Boy squad or something, or one more Shooter Boy squad. Chaplain is out. More upgrades for the Space Marine. The Sacred Artifact is up. He's making the Plasma Pistol, Grey Knights.
4 minutes until they can hold victory.
Yeah, I bet that Space Marine will win here. elamaunt is simply not ready for this fight. Space Marine basically is tier 2.5 and elamaunt is not even tier 2 yet. So yeah, it's almost over. In the next fight, Dolorosa will be able to win. Makes the custom gadgets research. Well, this squad of Storm Boys do not stand a chance against the Grey Knights with a Chaplain. And this big mech with the Shooter Boys can also get countered by the Space Marines. Yeah, no tier 2 yet for elamaunt, makes the plus tier now. Maybe some vehicle mass could help. But again, the Dolorosa would be able to make some, to add some missile launcher on the Space Marines and be able to counter the vehicles as well. And good ability cast in here, in this area, by the Grey Knights. GG gets called by elamaunt, it's over. Big Mech got killed in here, I believe. I think I've heard his rage when he dies, so... Yeah, good fight by Dolorosa, good solid decision making in this game, being aggressive, not the best capper control from elamaunt. He lost 2 Slugger Boy squads, that's basically what lost him the game in the early game. You need those squads to control the map. So let's see the score. 37 units killed by elamaunt, by Dolorosa, I'm sorry, and 21 units killed by elamaunt. On resources, Dolorosa wins. 1000 more resources in a 10-minute game. That's a nice advantage. And on technology it shows elamaunt as the winner. He had more unit upgrades and more research count. Also reinforced units add a lot to this total score, but it did not help him. So the score now is equal, 1-1. Let's watch the third game and see who will succeed in this best of 3. One Meeting of Minds, great map for both a decider map or a final map in a best of 3 or best of 5 or whatever. Most of the time you would have some nice big battles in here, because it's hard not to have a good economy in here. You have to try hard in order for your economy to be bad, with the Necron is the exception, of course. It's a very difficult map for Necrons, and a very good map for all the other races. But of course it's the best map for Eldar and Tau. Best map for Tau, definitely. And then Eldar, I would say. because as long as those two races have enough requisition, which this map offers a lot, they can be extremely powerful. So in the left side we have elamaunt with Orks, two Slugger Boy squads, and big mech. No shooter boys in here. Just like he played against Wolf, if you remember. Elamaunt against Space Marines, or no, it was Orks against Orks. Yeah. Also on this map. And elamaunt had this same opening. Very greedy economy opening. But it might be worth it because it's a big mech and hard to harass. The Ork in here. By the time Space Marine will have a decent army around the Ork's base, Ork already will have a good economy and some army to defend. So in the end the Ork will have a huge economy advantage.
Position secure. Defending objective.
In the right side, Dolorosa with Space Marines, he went for the same build order as in the previous two games. 3 Scout squads, Space Marines and Force Commander. Big mech countering this squad of Space Marines easily until the Force Commander gets here, so not a very good opening for the Space Marines on this map. I think starting with a generator will be better. 92 to 10 economy already for Ork, and the second generator is up, almost. This scout squad will get killed here. Bad mistake from the Space Marine. 97 to 20 economy. 1 war banner on the way, and Gretchen infiltration. Slugger Boy is distracting the Space Marine player a bit in here. 79 to 0 for Space Marine on the economy. 86 to 0. Now he has to place 2 generators instantly and the armory. He also floated a lot. He orders 2 Space Marine squads. He had a big float on requisition. Not a very good macro from the Space Marine player in the early game. Why does not he build the generator now? He is floating a lot. 300 requisition float for such an early stage is pretty big of a mistake. It delays your technology a lot. Your economy and technology suffers from this bad macro control.
Scouts in position. The Emperor protects. Scouts in position.
Captured a critical location. As I've said, he had to place 2 generators instantly, but he placed them like 40 seconds later after I said it. And he has to click tier 2 as quickly as possible, and also build the armory. Because what we have here, the 3rd generator for Ork on the way, and he will build another banner, I think. Pile of guns is already up and the armor upgrade is on the way. Unfortunately, elamaunt loses this LP2, and also the strategic point gets decapped. Elamaunt's army is not strong enough yet to face these 3 squads of tactical Space Marines. He needs 1 more Storm Boy squad, maybe reinforce the Slugger Boys a bit and fight in here. Save the Gretchens. Storm Boy is managing to kill the scouts. Another LP2 will go down here probably. Yeah, it goes down. So elamaunt loses a lot of requisition income. Minus 12 requisition here, and minus 18 in here. That's a lot. Good job by the Space Marine on destroying Ork's economy. And a very good fight for elamaunt. Right there. The Space Marine gets stuck in this terrain, surrounded by the Orks, and plenty of them get killed. Huge loss for the Space Marine player. Will this squad even die? But elamaunt lost the focus. And they will be able to escape. Still a very good fight for elamaunt. Nice teleportation here. Big Mech can fight this squad easily. Force Commander might even go down. Very low HP. Yeah, Force Commander gets killed. So that's the mistake of floating. Only if the Space Marine wouldn't float and build the generator faster and the armory, make the upgrades, he would have been in a much better situation when fighting the Ork. He is tier 2 now, but he has lost so much. He has lost one Space Marine squad, plenty of the Space Marine members in these squads, and the Force Commander. On economy though, it's very close now. But on the army side, it's in elamaunt's favor. So let's see the map vision for the players. It will be in elamaunt's favor now once he decaps this point. Chaplain is on the way. And Dolorosa does not want to make the librarian in this matchup for some reason. He has not made it in any of the previous games. Yeah, usually triple heroes is the way to go in some matchups. Maybe this is also a suitable matchup for triple heroes from Space Marine. I mean Force Commander, Chaplain and Librarian. Grey Knights were considered heroes in Dark Crusade as well, but no longer in Soulstorm. Otherwise it would be 4 hero build order. 128 to 40 economy here, requisition global upgrade on the way. Now the army strength is quite equal for both players. Elamaunt has to retreat in here with his shooter boys. Storm boys will keep destroying Space Marine's economy. And it's good that Elamaunt made this Saga Boy squad to maybe capture some critical locations. Would be nice. Knobs on the way now, and huge economy advantage I bet for Ork. That's right. Plus 50 economy more on the requisition income. 104 for Space Marines against 154 for Orks. And 20 more requisition income on energy as well for elamaunt. Nice focus on the builders here, they get killed instantly. A very good thing to do when you see the builders from your enemy, just focus them in the first place and kill them. It's a big pain for the enemy. Space Marine has to trade basically, he cannot face this army yet. Shooter boys, knobs and even storm boys might jump in there, so Space Marine has to base trade. He cannot fight, or actually he might be with a chaplain now here. He might be able to fight the Orks, but will he win? I am not sure. There are way too many knobs and storm boys. Even the Grey Knights won't help. And here we have this fight. Very nice focus on the Grey Knights and the Chaplain. Chaplain got surrounded by the knobs. Pretty sure he will get killed now, yeah. And it's over. Massive loss here again for the Space Marine, and he also made the Librarian a bit late. 2 Nob Squads, Storm Boys and Shooter Boys. Very strong army for tier 2.5, and GG gets called by Dolorosa. Very well played by elamaunt, not so well by Dolorosa, mostly because he floated. I did not like Dolorosa's play in this game. He has played almost perfectly in the previous game and missed big time in this one. Not used to macro play, I guess. So that's it, elamaunt wins again 2-1 and moves forward in the winner bracket. Let's see the score. Now elamaunt has more units killed. We had a very good battle in the middle game when Dolorosa lost plenty of Space Marines nearby the Orks strategic points, so plenty of Space Marines got killed there. When he also lost the Force Commander. And huge economy advantage on for elamaunt. Look at this difference. 2000 more resources in a 12-minute game. Crazy. And on technology, again elamaunt on top of everything. Very well played. I hope you enjoyed this best of 3. Feel free to leave your feedback below the video, leave a like or a dislike, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next videos. Thank you all for watching.